Good morning and welcome to the second day of June 2021. And we've been talking about arise and shine and also gaining courage in your calling, committing to that calling, and at the same time looking for opportunities to do or not to do, to say or not to say. On that, we can also seek understanding of the self, others, and the world around us. And also, we need to do networking. And networking, most of the time, people think of people networks, but there's the business network, there's the networking with this life that we live in. And on top of that, yesterday, I was talking about talking the talk or talking about talking. Now, I'm moving on. Today, I'm talking about A, which is to do with either asking to ascertain or ascertaining everything about the calling, everything that you hear, everything, so that when you do things or you do not do things, it's because you have asked questions and you have ascertained. When it comes to the spiritual sense of life, some people would rather not hear about God. Why? Because maybe they don't want to understand, but you have an opportunity to ask and to ascertain about this thing that you hear about religion and this person you hear about, that is God. Ask and ascertain, ask the questions. Yesterday we had a very fascinating time at the Bible study with the youth, and I came to learn something about the names of God and how God changes our names. And I was so amazed at the change of Abram to Abraham, and then Sarah to Sarah. Just the addition of AH means that God has been involved in the making of your name, something like that. That one is a topic of another day. But in the process of doing that, I had to ask a question. I was asking, is God's love unconditional? And of course, the youth leader was very kind and nice, and she said this: God so loved the world. So in John 3:16, God loved everyone. God has loved everyone. And because you're here also as a creation part of God, God loves us all unconditionally. On that basis, He's created you, He's created me, and we have been loved by God. When it comes to promises and other things that God do, they are conditions. So that's another topic of another day. But the main thing here was I asked a question which has been nagging me for some time. So in the spiritual sense, if you're not sure about what you hear people saying or what you hear about the Bible saying, it's good to ascertain and to ask. In the same way we do in the physical, when I'm hungry and if I depend on someone to feed me, then I need to ask for food. If they're respectful, they give me food. If not, my stomach will ask for food anyway because I'll feel hungry and I will need food. I will feel thirsty, I will need water. And it's the same in the spiritual sense. We hunger and we thirst for the things of God. If you say you don't do that, then I can say maybe you don't think through it. But we hunger and we thirst in the physical and in the spiritual sense as well. And when it comes to now the intellect, most of us, like I've been saying, we like knowledge, we like to gain information, we like to think. And if we are not given that perspective of asking questions, if we were not given that privilege, even exams is to do with asking questions to ascertain the understanding. So there is the ascertaining and the asking questions in the intellect so that we can be able to move level after level to pass exams and to show that we have an understanding. The commercial world is the same. You know, in business, you ask for products and you're given products. If there are no products, then the business can go down. So there's always the asking, the ascertaining, and it's important that you know where your products are coming from, because if you end up with poor product, then you won't be able to sell and therefore business will go down. In the emotional sense as well, it's important to ask yourself, why am I feeling this way and not that way? What has just triggered this? Ascertain the sources of the things that happen in your mind that trigger those memories or trigger those feelings that make people either happy or depressed. Or there's so many things you need to understand. You see, the word understanding is coming through, and also ascertaining and asking questions. Ask other people, how do they feel when certain things happen? And last but not least, in the social realm, get to know your friends. Get to ask them questions. There's nothing wrong in understanding your friends and getting to know who they are, and also them getting to know who you are. So when someone asks you a question, don't run away. It's important that you respond to that question. And it's a conversation starter anyway. What do you do for a living? What do you do for this? And how do you feel about this? What about this question? It's okay. It keeps the conversation, the talking going. It keeps all the other aspects of arising and shine, gaining courage, committing, and also having those opportunities, understanding one another, networking, talking, and today ascertaining and asking questions. So have a wonderful day. Be curious. Ask some questions today. If you don't understand what is Esther talking about, by the way, look, the word is coming through now. We are almost saying what the word is. God bless you and have a wonderful, blessed day.